Good evening, everyone. Today we have a good news. The good news is that the murder case puzzle has been resolved, and the police has today nabbed and arrested the culprit, or in other words, the criminal behind the killing, the gruesome killing of late Miss Vihozhonu Zhao. She's from Chakama village, and what she was is she was an athlete, a basketball player, and she just completed her graduation. And now she is a talented basketball player and athlete, a promising player from Nagaland. So unfortunately, she was murdered on the 25th of October, which was last month. And then the story went on like that. So I want to first of all reveal the reason behind. The culprit has been nabbed. The person behind the killing of this young, beautiful lady has been arrested by Kohima police today. As per the press note that is received from the Kohima police SP, the superintendent of police of Kohima, SP of Kohima, it is learned that the culprit has been arrested, and the reason for him to kill her on the 25th of October. I want to first let you know why she was killed. So as per the confession to the police, the culprit, the accused confessed that, and let me pull up the name. This is as per the information provided the police. This is the accused. So she was killed, and as per his confession, according to this police report, we learned that during the interrogation, the accused, which we have projected here on the screen, yes, which we have projected on the screen, the accused by the name Mr. Samuel Zhao, a 31 years old son of Holdo Zhao from Chakama village, which is like about 10 to maybe 15 to 20 minutes away from Kohima. So he hailed from that village, and he stays in Old Minister's Hill. So he confessed that word by word to the police to murdering his niece, who was this Vihozhonu Zhao. Samuel Zhao murdered her niece, Vihozhonu Zhao. He revealed that on the fateful day of 25th October at around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, this Samuel Zhao had asked Vihozhonu to prepare tea. However, she was engrossed, or in other words, so engaged with her phone, with her mobile phone, and she responded in a very dismissive manner, which reportedly angered this her uncle, and she is that is Samuel Zhao, which angered him because she was so engrossed in her mobile phone, and she responded in a very dismissive tone and dismissive manner. That angered him. So in a fit of rage, out of anger, he picked up a piece of firewood and struck her on the head, causing her to collapse on the spot. So this accused hit her with a piece of firewood on the head, and she immediately collapsed on the spot on the floor. Now, after the assault, the accused, this Samuel Zhao, took the sweater lying on the inverter box and used it to cover the victim's head in an attempt to stop the bleeding. So he picked up the sweater, which was lying on the inverter box, and covered up her head in order for the bleeding to stop. Because definitely, when you are hit with the firewood on your head, it's going to bleed. You're going to get wounded. Your head is going to break. So she started bleeding. So he took the sweater to cover up her head to stop bleeding. That's what the report of the police said. Subsequently, after that, he switched off her mobile phone, which was no longer in her hand, and he removed the SIM card, and he broke the handset into pieces and disposed of it in the KMC Kohima Municipal dumping truck the next morning. So in other words, he switched off her mobile phone And after that, discarded those mobile phone, those devices, SIM card, and all of that in the KMC dumping dumping truck in the next morning, which was on the 26th of October. That's what the police said. Now, the sweater that was used to mop the floor and clean the bloodstains was also thrown in the nearby gutter to destroy evidence. So, the sweater that he used to mop the floor and clean up the bloodstains on the floor was also discarded somewhere in the gutter. That's what the police said. And then he kept the body inside his room after that, before disposing it off near the ring well in the basement. So probably they have a ring well in the basement. So her body was disposed of near the ring well in the basement. And then because he kept the body inside his room for some time before disposing. So that was a whole tragic thing. That his confession according to the Superintendent of Police Kohima's report today that we received. And also now I think we also need to know what actually happened, how it actually started the investigation. Now I have told you, I have mentioned according to the report of the police, I have mentioned why the accused killed the victim, who was his own niece. And I have narrated a little bit of how it actually happened and for what reason she was killed. So, the rumors has it that there could be a lot of things. Everyone was suspecting huge fight or any kind of mysterious case. But, according to the police report, we learned that it's just because she refused to make tea for him because she was busy with her phone. And that raged him, that made him so angry. So that's according to what the police report says. And now I would like to also narrate on how the investigation began. So let's take a look here. So on the morning of 25th October, the Kohima woke up to the shocking news of this gruesome murder of a victim, whom we call Vihozhonu Zhao, who was 22 years old, daughter of Genitudo Zhao. And she's from Sakama village under Kohima district in Nagaland. And now after they received the information of this body being disposed of in the near the ring well, the duty party from South Police Station promptly proceeded to the place of occurrence. FIR from Shri Vegetozo Zhao, who is the parental uncle of Vihozhonu, our main victim. A regular case was registered at Kohima, police station, Vide Kohima Women Police Case. And the same was endorsed to UPSI, means an armed branch sub-inspector, Hilikath Metsi, for further investigation. So as soon as they received the FIR report, they endorsed it to Hilikath, who is the UPSI, an armed branch sub-inspector for further investigation if the FIR is really true for that sense. And now, considering the seriousness and complexity of the case, the Kohima police formed a special investigation team. And on 26 October, the next day itself, that was a very prompt action done by Kohima police under the leadership of Shri K. Soriso, Additional Superintendent of Police, ASP. And along with him, there were 8 members to do the complete and very intensive investigation. So this special investigation team was formed. Along with him, there were 8 members from the police station. And the case was this is what the report says. The case presented extraordinary challenges. You know why? They said the case was so challenging that it was very difficult to actually assess the case, to do the investigation. And they said because it was essentially a blind case. It's a blind case, as far as I understand, it means they have no clue where the body came from. Who brought the body and how it actually happened. Some people, the passersby, just found the body, and it was difficult and challenging for them to start the case investigation. So that's what they mean. Now, the identified crime scene was suspected to be a secondary place of occurrence, meaning the place where they found the crime scene where they found the body was not actually the exact place where she was killed, she was murdered. It was suspected to be a secondary place of occurrence, meaning the actual murder happened somewhere and that this body was disposed somewhere. So that also posed a lot of challenges for the investigation team. And they said which made it difficult for the team to establish a clear theory, a motive, and sequence of the event. And that makes sense. So despite these obstacles, the SIT, Special Investigation Team, carried out a painstaking and methodical investigation. That's what they said, paying close attention to every small detail, pieced together a crucial leads, and through sustained efforts, the team eventually zeroed in on prime suspect. So after they put a lot of efforts piecing information together, and paying close attention to every detail, they were able to eventually zero in on a prime suspect. Now this is what happened. So during the interrogation, like I've read out in the beginning, the accused confessed already that he murdered her because he requested her to make tea for him, and she kind of was so engrossed with a mobile phone, and she responded in a very dismissive manner. So he picked up a piece of firewood, and hit her on the head, and she collapsed immediately on the floor on the spot. And that's where she started bleeding. And seeing her head bleeding, what he did was pick up the sweater that was lying on the inverter box and wrap around her head. And she kept the body for the night. She kept the body in his room for some time, and he disposed of near the ring well in the basement. That's what the police report says. Now, the Kohima police is saying that they express huge appreciation and gratitude to the public for their patience and understanding and cooperation throughout this investigation. The trust and support of the citizens allowed the team to work professionally and without external pressure, ensuring a fair and thorough inquiry. So the detection stands as a testament to the dedication, teamwork, and professionalism of Kohima Police in particular, and Nagaland Police in general. The relentless pursuit of truth has brought resolution to what began as a completely blind case. I think Kohima Police deserves a huge applause, huge appreciation for all of us who want to live in a society free of crimes, free of murders, and free of any sort of crimes. So police deserves a huge round of applause and huge appreciation from the public for carrying out and bringing this breakthrough. Of course, it has taken some time because they repeatedly mentioned because it was a blind case where there was no lead. It was very difficult to build up a case on that. It was difficult to build a case on it because no one knew about it, and no one had any information. So it was because of their professionalism, it was because of their expertise, experience, and hard work and dedication that has led them to bring this breakthrough and resolve this puzzle. And I think this is a great job done by Kohima Police. It's very sad that some reckless behavior can turn to such that the person you love the most or the person who is a loved one by mistake can get killed as well. So it's a great reminder for many people, or including all of us, that you cannot just play around hitting somebody on the head, and you cannot just play around with hard tools and objects with people just because you get angry at that very moment because somebody, your sister, your niece, did not or does not want to make tea for you because she's so engrossed in her phone. That's what the accused confessed. I think this is a very, very sad occurrence, and it's a very sad incident that someone had to lose her life because someone could not control his temper. This is very unfortunate. Personally, as a team, we would like to send our condolence to Vihozhonu's family, and we can understand how much pain the family must have gone throughout this process. And we believe that the government has also put in a lot of efforts to make sure justice was served to Vihozhonu Zhao, and to make also sure um, the culprit is nabbed at the earliest, and go through whatever needs to be go through according to the law of the land. Having said all of this, it's very sad in a context like ours that um, we still think that making tea, making food. I think this is just one example of several incidents that we have maybe probably experienced in a society like ours, because domestic violence is part of a domestic violence as well. Domestic violence against women. We see that, and we have heard a lot of cases. We have come across a lot of cases, even personally, having personal experience, when a husband comes home, or when brothers come home, if they're not served food, if they're not served food well, the women folk in the household get scolding. Sometimes they get beating in a very violent form. And also, even if the food is served well, if they find the rice in a cold state, if the rice feels cold at that very moment, and the husband or the man folk will scold our women folk in the household. So I think this, and these are major causes, mostly as per our experience in our society, in the context of our Naga society, when it comes to resulting into domestic violence. So I think a lot of cases like this go unreported, but thankfully, or at the same time, unfortunately, this case is exposed because someone lost her life. That was very unfortunate. If she had not lost her life, she would be hit, and no one would come to know that our menfolk behave like that. So it's very unfortunate, and it's our prayer and honest prayer to the victim's family, and to the friends of her loved ones, and everyone who is mourning her passing, who is mourning her death. And but still, if there's a comfort at all, maybe justice will definitely be served, and we want to live in a society that is free of crimes and all of this, because we need to respect the rule of the law of the land, and according to the law of the land, I think the culprit or the arrested accused, will be punished in a very befitting manner, because no one has the right to take people's lives, whether mistakenly or intentionally. If you take people's life, if you hurt somebody, you are supposed to be in jail, maybe all of your life. So I think it's always important to think twice before you resort into violence, before you just do anything because you're so angry with something or somebody, right? It's very important. It's a great reminder for everyone that it's good to have a great self-control, and that will serve that'll make your life better, and that will help you not ending up in a situation where you have to spend all your life in prison. So I think sad to report this news, but since this news has been in due for so long, so it's the best time to narrate what actually happened and to clear off the air as per the report and the press note released by the police, the Superintendent of Police Kohima SP office. So, like I said, on a concluding note, congratulations to Kohima Police for being able to bring breakthrough in this murder case puzzle. It must have been very difficult. It must have been very challenging to build a case, or to build and investigate, to start an investigation on a blind case where nobody knows what actually happened. So congratulations and huge appreciation and condolence to the victim's family once again, and to all her friends and everyone who is mourning her death, and everyone who wants to bring justice for her, and everyone who believes in the rule of law, and everyone who believes in a just and safe society. May our women be safe, and may everyone who believes in the rule of the law, be safe. May every citizen be safe in our society, in our city, in our town, and everyone. So thanks for tuning in. You all have a great evening ahead.